Hello and welcome to the newspaper review here on Top TV. My name is Williams Abule. A happy new month to you. And yes, it's the election month. Are you ready to get involved in the voting process? If you haven't picked up your PVC, what exactly are you waiting for? Time is fast running out, so you need to get up. Go on to your local government where you registered. Yeah, that's the INEC office in your local government where you registered, and pick up your PVC. Not just that, by now, I expect that you already know the candidate you're casting your vote for. So make sure you get ready, cast your vote, protect your vote. It's very important because this whole process in this month of February, in fact, for me right now, I'll say February is now my favorite month. And with that, I want to introduce you to my guest on the program today, Miss Natasha Brown.
Thank you, Abule. I'm so ready for the election.
Oh, you are ready, I believe so. You got your PVC.
Absolutely.
And you know your candidate.
Yes.
Interesting. So please do same and show you're ready. Please don't miss out. Don't be scared or intimidated. A lot is happening. There's fuel scarcity. There's money scarcity. Everything seems to be scarce all of a sudden. But please, that shouldn't deter you from actually making your voice heard in this election, because that's the only way we can change all of this drama that's been going on. All of these things bedeviling us can be changed with that one vote. It's one vote, but it is that important. I'm taking time to say all of this because it is that critical, and it's high time we get talking. Let our voices be heard by voting in the election this month. All right, you're welcome. If this is the first time you're seeing this video, this is where we bring you the headlines across newspapers around Nigeria, and you get to participate by dropping your comments and your reactions on the comment section. All right, do that, and would love to hear from you. Also, subscribe to this channel, subscribe, and turn on the notification for subsequent notifications whenever we come up with a new episode of the program. All right, let's get right into it for today. Today being the 1st of February 2023, and we'll start our newspaper readings today with This Day newspaper, where we start with that very reputable news platform. And on this day here, we have as headline, again, Tinubu attacks Buhari's government, says they met exchange rate at 200 naira per dollar. Now it's 800 naira per dollar. Promises to make Cross River Nigeria's tourism hub. In Anambra, former Lagos governor slams Atiku Obi. All right, do well to pick up this day. That's where you will get the details of that headline. Moving on to other headlines here on this day, we see here APC alleges police complicity in Rivers campaign attacks. Details on page 42 of this day newspaper. Moving downwards, you see here INEC NNPC meet over impact of fuel scarcity on elections. To mobilize 100,000 vehicles, 4,000 boats for elections, demands use of national oil companies' land, floating mega stations nationwide to service poles, duty vehicles, and boats. The main headline on this day here says cash swap, old banknotes redeemable only at CBN after deadline, says Emefiele. Insists old 200 naira, 500 naira, 1,000 naira no longer tenable after February 10th. Pledges no Nigerian will lose their money. Seeks support. Accuses commercial banks of breaching CBN's guidelines. Reiterates EFCC orders security agencies working with Apex Bank on new Naira distribution monitoring. Lawmakers elated with CBN governor's explanation. Pass 1 trillion Naira Ways and Means loan request. All right, that's all the headline we'll be taking today on This Day newspaper. All right, Natasha, I'll come to you, and I would like us to talk about Tinubu's, outing in Cross River and also Akwa Ibom State, where he said that they came in and met $1 at 200 naira per naira at 200 naira per dollar, and now it's 800 naira per. Thereby directly lashing on the current administration's failure to keep the naira at a very, returnable state. Now it has gone overboard, and one of their own is coming out to, lash out on them. How do you react to that story?
For me,
You don't know how to go about this one. It's shocking, right?
It is not. See, shocking is not the word. I expect all these things from these candidates, aspirants, whatever we choose to call them. I expect them to speak like this, but when you are saying certain things and it is obvious you are saying it in order to garner some sort of support for yourself at the tail end. First of all, we're in February, just a few weeks away from the election. You are actively campaigning because you want to be the president. I like the fact that you are being honest, saying that your party has done wrong for over 8 years. We met $1 to the naira for 200, and now it is over 800 naira to $1. I like the fact that you're calling out your party, but does it speak about integrity when it comes to No. It does not. And you know why I say that? It's because from the beginning, when your candidate Buhari ascended the throne or got into the presidential office, you never said a word. You never called him out. You never mentioned that, oh, this is such a horrible thing. Nigerians are facing such a hard time.
Yeah, as a party chieftain,
you never,
didn't do that.
As a party chieftain, you never, what is that thing he calls himself? A kingmaker. You never said that. Now all of a sudden, you are running for office and you are speaking like what you are saying is an altruistic thing. You really care about Nigerians, and therefore
you feel they're playing. That kind of thing.
This is hoax. Yeah. It's a lie. It's a bloody lie. We know that we know the heat we have been experiencing with this present government under the party of APC. You never came out to speak about it or against it, and all of a sudden you are trying to galvanize support, and now you are making it look like, oh, I know that I come on the back of a party that has brought hardship on the nation, but I'm willing to do better. How can we trust you? For over 8 years, you didn't speak a thing. You didn't out them. You didn't come out to say that certain things that they're doing are wrong, and they should do better by us. In fact, you were even part of them during one of the most crucial times. I would always say the NSAS time. You didn't even care about the youth. It was all about you. And now all of a sudden, you are beginning to make it look like, oh, Buhari's government has messed up again. Oh, please. I call it...
And the fixers are here.
I call it hoax. I call it a lie. I say that his motive for saying this is not because he loves Nigerians. It is because it will make him popular. It is because it will seem like, oh, I have integrity and what I am saying is of altruistic value. I care about Nigerians, but no, please, not at all. So I call it a hoax. It's not something that gets to me. It's not something that I'm interested in. Nigerians have been saying this thing about the APC government for over years. So it's not a new thing that he's beginning to notice.
Yeah, interesting. And then for me, I don't know what he plans to achieve with all of this continuous lashing out on the APC government.
Apparently, there's some inner party issues. Oh yes, apparently, because we know that certain members of the same party, they're not very excited about him having the candidacy. They're not excited about him being the flag bearer. So a lot of them are quite keeping mum. And then we also know that the president himself had not been going on a lot of campaigns with him until recently. He was called out a number of times, and then he chose, I think to shop for in about 7 states or so. But still, so all the heat is on him. So he's trying to do whatever he can. To get our support. But I mean, at the end of the day, I love what he's saying. I love that he's calling out his party. But to me, it is not based off of the fact that you care for Nigerians. No.
It's just the election fever.
Oh yes, please.
All right, thank you for that analysis. We're going to move on to our next paper for the day, and that will be the Vanguard for today, the 1st of February 2023. And on Vanguard here, we have as headline, Catholic bishops to federal government save Nigerians from wanton killings, looting, kidnapping. Details is on page 27 of the Vanguard newspaper. All right, moving on, we see as headline here on the Vanguard, Naira redesign, no Nigerian will lose money, Befiele. Also, the main headline says, elections logistics in danger with fuel scarcity. INEC speaking there. And right under that, INEC is also saying we are mobilizing about 100,000 vehicles, 4,000 boats for deployment of personnel and materials to 176,846 polling units spread across 8,809 registration areas in 774 local government areas nationwide. That's Yakubu speaking. NNPC assures electoral body of adequate supply. Things will change before polls. Tinubu's spokesperson. INEC should double check transport unions, Labour Party. We are hoping I'll take it again. Okay, we are hoping it will it will be brought under control. That's the PDP campaign speaking concerning the fuel scarcity going on. Other headlines here, we see PVCs Obi insists over 3 million Nigerian students must vote, meet EU observers. Federal government cracks down on petrol marketers, orders end to smuggling. All of that you find on page 9 and 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. Lastly, I think this one, it says IMF upgrades Nigeria's 2023 economic growth project to 3.2%. Details is on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper. All right, let's talk about the concerns of INEC as related to the current fuel scarcity and crisis. I say that way because this has been like an unending episode since sometime November last year when this whole scarcity started. It has resulted to an untold hardship on a lot of Nigerians. Myself, just yesterday, I bought fuel 500 naira per liter for the first time in a very long while. The last time I did buy that amount was sometime early part of December, but now I'm buying that, and the fuel supply is very limited. So, of course, there's no regulation to pricing and everything. Now, INEC is coming up to say, if this is not checked, that this is going to hamper the fluidity of their movement during the election. What do you say to that?
Well, you know that for a time there's been rumors about people pressing on the INEC to extend the election dates.
Yeah.
So it could be a ploy to have that election date extension, which a lot of Nigerians are against. Nigerians are saying, come hell, come high water, we want to vote.
Yes.
Come February 25.
True.
In fact, February 25th has been trending on Twitter the whole day yesterday and today.
Yeah.
So I think that this fuel scarcity right now that we're experiencing, and first thing, it's not even the pricing, the price hike rather, is not necessarily on the same level in every state. I hear that in Lagos it's 197 to a liter. I hear that in Abuja it's 197 to a liter. In my state, every state, the crude producing state, we are paying 500, 400, 350.
Really appalling.
And I am like, what in the world is going on?
You know the annoying part about that price thing? It's not just the price. The long queue you have to run before you buy the petrol at that cost. Right. Like, it's not like because it's 500, it's available, so you just drive in and buy off. It is 500 naira per liter, yet you have to be on a long queue to buy at 500. And if you're listening to us from any part of the world, if you're a Nigerian and you've been to Port Harcourt before, when we say it's 500 naira per liter, this is all-time highest for us, and it's not fun. It's not fun at all. It means that increase in cost of other things that are relying on fuel consumption, right. And so it's a very tough time for most road users, most consumers of this very product, and so we're wondering. And to worsen it, there's no regulation to it. So some people are selling 500, some other stations sell 350. Right. So the benchmark is between 300 and 500, depending on where you're buying. But most of these filling stations we're talking about are located right here in the city. They're not outskirts. We're not saying they're selling 500 outskirts Port Harcourt. They're right inside this city. Unlike Lagos, it will be hard because somewhat I think the regulators are moving around to ensure that despite we're having scarcity, let it be that Nigerians buy this product at the stipulated federal government cost. Yeah. But here in River State, there is no regulation whatsoever. So you drive into a normal filling station right in the middle of town and you're buying at 500 naira per liter. It is
it's
highly
horrible.
frustrating.
And then even bringing it down to the INEC and their slight frustrations and their projections about how it probably will impede logistics. It is true.
Very true.
Because I mean, in order to get your materials from one state to another, one local government to another, one polling unit to another, you need your vehicles. You need your vehicles, and for your vehicles to move, you need your fuel. And the fuel is scarce. How can you get access to it to make sure that all polling units get their materials on time?
Because it's very key.
Right.
On time.
Yes.
Very key.
So these things are very concerning. And for me, I'm beginning to think, is this politically motivated? To demoralize the Nigerian, to demoralize Nigerians from saying, you know what, there's too much going on in the country. I might just as well sit in my house.
It should be some kind of motivation.
No, because demoralizing in the sense that we are thinking, we have been anticipating this for over 4 years now.
Yeah.
We have been looking forward to February 25. And all of a sudden, we are beginning to experience fuel scarcity again. What gives? What gives? Okay, because and you know that the larger crop of things is because of this fuel scarcity, right? It's also directly influencing the price of transportation. Now wait, imagine that this price still keeps on creeping up to the very week of the February 25th election date. People have to travel, remember? Yeah. People have to take excuses from their offices to go to their various wards if they have to go to their state of origin or whatever to vote. They'll probably use flight. They'll probably go by road. Do you know what I mean?
And the cost of transportation.
That's where the demoralization comes from. So they're like, if I don't have the money to pay, then I just stay back at home.
Yeah, I get it.
Do you understand? So the boomerang effect is a lot. So that's why, to an extent, I'm like, is this politically motivated, or is someone just acting crazy like they usually do?
Yeah, and then why has it taken so long
to fix it?
They blame it. Guess what? They blame the situation on everything else.
They say the private depot people, they have hiked their price because they don't get the appropriate supplies. Even the petroleum regulatory body. They've come out to say they have this supplies, and they've given it to the private depot people, but those are the ones holding the fuel. NNPC has said, oh, we have enough fuel. So you are wondering,
and then the last time they blamed it on smugglers at the border. They say, oh, there are people like Nigerians that are smuggling these products via this border to either Benin Republic or Togo or one of these countries.
And that is a possibility. That is a possibility.
So
but in the long run, somebody needs to take responsibility
and take action. So if you know that they are smuggling these things, what are you doing about it? And it's not today. Smuggling of these products through the border didn't start today. It's been there. No. So if it is now putting all of us, keeping us in a state of ransom, then
one thing that I know that has been similar with this party APC and with governance over the 8 years has been the blame game.
Yeah.
Nobody takes responsibility. The buck never stops at one person's desk, and the person takes the fall for it. And it seems like they are always very careful about pulling the plug on somebody, letting someone take the fall for it.
It is this government that people do things in impunity the most. Nobody went to jail for anything. Oh, when they brought in adulterated fuel into the country, nobody, we did not see anybody that was responsible.
It is a horrible thing. Please, guys, go out there and vote.
That's exactly.
I'm done having a lot of. We already know the state of the country right now. We know what's going on.
If you're not
tired, if it's not touching you, I'm sure that it's touching somebody else. Do the needful. Vote right. Vote right.
I'm tired.
And voting right every time for me. My mantra is every time people come out and say, "Get your PVC, get your PVC." It doesn't stop at you getting your PVC. Look at the situations of the country. and look at the candidates that are the forebearers or the flag bearers of their parties, and look at the one that is most likely going to at least do us 70% good, if not 60% good, because at this point in time, I don't think there's any miracle worker amongst all of the candidates.
Yes, but let somebody be responsible enough to start a process that can get us to somewhere.
That's it.
Because right now we feel stuck. If you aren't feeling that way, I feel that way. Hence, you see people in the way they are doing. The movement out of the country, traveling here and there, it is because we feel stuck. And you know, Nigerians are very resilient. We're very hardworking.
We're losing the best of our hands.
People.
I mean,
so whenever
this is not the time to be selfish.
We want to make a move. Don't forget that this year's election is the first election in a long time that a lot of new registrations came up. Why do you think that happened? It is
Change has to happen.
Nigerians want to make their voice heard. And if you're one of those Nigerians, please don't be deterred. A lot is going on, we know. It is stressful, we know. But then don't be deterred. Ensure that you participate in the voting process. Come out that day and vote. Forget about the threats, the mild threats we see everywhere, trying to intimidate people not to come out. Come out and vote. You're not alone in this one. All right, with that, we're going to take a very short break. When we come back, we're going to go straight into our last paper for the day. You stay tuned. We'll be right back on the newspaper review here. Now that you have registered for your PVC, it doesn't stop there. Ensure you pick up your PVC. Be alert. Join many Nigerians to vote credible leaders that will change the tide of this nation. Do not sell your vote. Remember, this is our future. Your vote is your voice.
This message is proudly brought to you by Thav Media Limited.
All right, you're welcome back from that very short break. I want to thank you so much for staying with us up to this time here on the newspaper review. All right, we'll continue with the headlines and we'll go straight into Daily Independent newspaper for today, the 1st of February 2023. And on Daily Independent here, we have as headline, Independence Award sends us strong message. Universal Insurance boss speaking. Suspense as Wike allies fail to announce presidential candidate. Wow, that's another thing that we didn't talk about all this while. You remember him earlier in sometime in December, he said, in January we're going to announce the candidate we'll be supporting. But this is a new month, and that never got
even
to happen.
the election month. And I'm just imagining when they finally say a candidate.
Are they going to
the
ever?
Uproar is going to cause?
I don't think they will ever do that. Even though there's been suspicions that he's supporting the APC candidate because somehow his name has popped up in some document that he has never confirmed, but then it's an alleged news flying around. But then that's one thing Nigerians need to keep their ears and eyes open for, hoping that one day he will come up and say, okay, this is the candidate we're supporting. That will be something else though. Right. Knowing that he's still a member of the PDP. And we also know that he's not a supporter of Atiku. At this time, we don't know whether maybe
there might be a change.
There might be a change, but
in politics, there are no permanent enemies or friends.
Exactly.
They can be fluid the way that they want.
Once they satisfy his interest, like he said, he's going to play ball.
Yeah.
All right, we'll continue with the headlines here on Daily Independent newspaper. We'll go straight into the main headline, and it says here, new Naira notes. No Nigerian will lose money despite deadline. Emefiele accuses commercial banks of breaching CBN guidelines. Says EFCC, ICPC, NFIU working with CBN on notes monitoring. Reps passed Buhari's 1 trillion naira ways and means loan request. All of that details you find on page 29 of the Daily Independent newspaper. Moving on to other headlines here, it says, again, Nigeria dropped by 4 points in latest corruption perception index ranking. You see that on page 6 of the Daily Independent. NNPC takes over operation of PSC assets from Adax Petroleum. Buhari appoints Segun Awolowo, Secretary, National Action Committee of AFCFTA. If you need to get details of all of that, page 6 of the Daily Independent is where you will find those details. And lastly, I'll take this one. It says, post 2023 poll disputes, NBA threatens action against errant judges. Well, quite a lot of headline on the Daily Independent, but the one in particular is the main headline, which is a matter that has been on the front burner for the whole of December up till now, and that's the new Naira notes. And this time, thank God for the CBN governor, finally dancing to the plea or agreeing to the pleas
of the people,
and say, okay, we are going to, give us some more grace period, and let's see how this plays out. And he's promising Nigerians that they will not lose their money despite the deadline. But then, new notes are not available anywhere. So we've heard a lot of talking by the CBN governor. We hear him pass, so much, comments saying that the banks, they have money, distribute this money, but the banks tells you, right, currently, even the old note, the banks are not distributing anymore. It has gotten so bad that people are now buying up the old notes. So if you live in Port Harcourt or in most parts of the country, you find out that these point of sales operators that have kind of like augmented in cash withdrawal from banks have recently increased their charges too. So 100% increment, if you must know, and that has been very annoying. What do you say to all of this, happening so far as regards the new Naira note?
We're in tough times,
yeah.
But like they say, tough times don't last. So hopefully we can be able to manage ourselves within this period.
Yeah.
And the aftermath of February 10th gives us more sanity and more access, to the needful, which is the new Naira note. It's been challenging. It's been really challenging. The truth of the matter is, right now, even the CBN has come out to say the banks are the ones hoarding the money.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. And I think that is true.
I don't get it.
Why I say that is true is because we have seen videos of people attending weddings and they have stacks of new Naira notes just spraying. We have also had people come out to say that they've gone to banks, they're on queues, and then one man is taken behind the counter and he comes out with the cash that he wants. This man goes in to get over 2 million naira of the new Naira note. People on the queue just want to exchange their 5,000, 10,000, 30,000.
Even recently.
And the funny thing is, hold on, the funny thing is, now it is so bad that a number of bank officials, because they know how desperate people are to exchange their old monies in the short time, they're beginning to charge you. So if you really want them to attend to you on time and give you preferential treatment over others, you will give them a percentage. And I am wondering, this is my own money that I put in your bloody bank, and you want extra money on my money just because the CBN said a thing? So it's been a tough time, because and my frustration with the CBN is that they have not sanctioned any bank. No bank has been called out on.
And yet they say they are monitoring the whole
situation. You are monitoring. But you know what Nigerians are facing. If truly you are saying that the fault is not from you, that you have given the money out, that the money supplied is enough to meet everybody's need, and the banks are hoarding it, why have you not done the needful?
That is the
You are hearing that Nigerians are shouting every other.
It's not just hearing. There are videos everywhere. In fact, let's leave videos. Just come out of your office.
Maybe they don't watch videos.
No, come out of your office. Just drive down your street. Maybe 2 streets away from your office. You will see these queues at the ATM points.
So
long stretched queues at the ATM points.
I am wondering why no bank has been called out. Because I know, even I was speaking with my dad this morning, if one bank has been sanctioned and shut down.
Yeah, at least for a month or something.
Other banks will sit up, but no, it's Nigerians suffer, please suffer, because we are used to suffering as a resilient people.
Yes,
everything
is stressful.
For me, the CBN governor has not done his job to the full. He has done a part, but see it through to the end, that Nigerians actually get access to these new monies, and everyone is satisfied. But I like what he has said though, and I like the progressive thing that he has done, whereby after the 10th of February, which is the grace period, if you still have your old money, now you cannot go to any commercial bank anymore. You have to go to any CBN bank in your state to remit those monies. And even when you do that, them giving you the new monies now is based on certain terms and conditions.
Very true.
Very true. So I like the fact that under that clause that he has created, people will not lose their money, because people are really afraid that the little 50,000 or 100,000 or whatnot that they have. So if I'm really not able to give this money back to the bank, it's a loss. So I like that he has created this avenue. But the flip side of this grace thing he has done to go directly to the CBN is this. How about, you said initially that you were trying to curb vote buying, so people don't have access to the old money to do that. So it means that even though I still have my stash of 500 million in the old money, I can still go to the bank after the February 10th.
But then you won't be able to use the money.
No. And it's not about now, because now, so the catch is you won't lose your money.
Okay.
Which is, I don't necessarily have to go hurry to go and change it now. But
let's not also forget that in returning this money after the deadline,
there are terms and conditions.
There are terms and conditions.
Which might be that you will lose some.
Yeah, which also include the fact that they are working with security agencies and anti-graft agencies. So you as a politician or you as a criminal,
you wouldn't think it right.
Oh no, you don't want to just bring your
money.
Oh no, you don't bring your 500 million naira and they're just receiving it in the name of you pass the deadline.
I like that. So
they will investigate
so that's
who you
the
are.
catch. That's the catch I also like about that clause that he said categorically there are terms and conditions.
No, I'm really glad that the CBN
I love that.
Has been a responsive body. When this deadline thing came up, a lot of Nigerians have knocked off balance, despite the fact that they said 3 months space. But I just felt 3 months was a bit too short. I don't have plenty money to be scared of, but I was just thinking about the whole economy. Thank God Nigerians still responded well. If CBN was able to mop up over 2.9 or so trillion within the time frame, it for me is a success already. So they had about 900
and the funny thing
billion.
The funny thing that has happened this period, have you noticed? Now even Malams are going to buy the naira, no more dollar buying. People are not thinking, I want to go buy dollar. Where is my naira? It is a funny thing, and I'm hoping that such a thing where people are clamoring to get the naira becomes a stay-at-home thing.
Yeah, because not adding value to it.
Yes, adding value to the naira. So I hope that it's something that whoever is coming into office and whoever else is going to be the CBN governor will look into, whereby naira has to be appreciated once again.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, for me,
above foreign currencies.
Yes. Good policy. Tough one, but not out of line. But why is it that in Nigeria everything we must do has to go to
stress?
This wahala, you will knock people off balance mentally, psychologically.
Nigerians need to know right now that the whole thing they say about us being resilient, please, it is downright traumatic. Enough of being resilient. What we need right now is some breather. I keep saying it every time. We need a breather, because as a Nigerian, it seems like every other day you are living to survive. Oh my God, I need to survive.
Survival mode on all day.
When will we enjoy? and the funny thing is, I don't know which newspaper came up with that, or which publication came up with that Nigerians were the happiest people so far. And I'm like, I mean, yes, we love to jay. I love to have a good time.
Interesting.
But the stress is a lot on us. We need some light. We need some light.
A breath of fresh air. And I'm strongly hoping that after this election, if we vote rightly, if we get it right, we might get some bit of that fresh air we're asking for. I want to thank you so much, Natasha, for always coming through. And to our viewers, thank you so much for watching. You guys are the MVP. But I'm afraid that's where we have to draw the curtains for today's episode of the newspaper review. Until next time, we'll come your way again. You stay well and ensure you pick up your PVC and get ready to vote.